Hi everybody, in this video I'm gonna show you how to deploy a .NET App version 8 on a Linux. In this tutorial, I'll use Ubuntu 22 as a Linux server. So let's start it. Here is the steps that we need to do for this scenario. So first we need to install the .NET runtime. After that, we need to install a SQL server and some tools to working with that and publish website files for Linux. After that, we should transfer the published file to the server and upload and attach the database to the SQL server. For this scenario, I prepared a document that contains all the steps and all the commands you need to run in your server. As I said before, I'm using .NET version 8 and Ubuntu 22 as a Linux server. And don't worry guys, you can find this guide in my GitHub page that I'll share the link of it in the description. So let's start it. First, I'm gonna connect to my server. So I'm using the Windows PowerShell. Okay, after that, you can easily copy and paste the commands. Before I start, it's good to know that it's not necessary to install Apache or other web servers, as .NET can handle the HTTP requests. So first, we should install .NET runtime. Let's update packages. Okay. Now we can install .NET Run. As I said, I'm using .NET 8. If you using another version of .NET, you can easily change the version here. Okay, .NET installed too. So next step is installing MS SQL Server. During the installation, you have to set the password, and actually we have to set a developer edition or another edition you want to. But developer edition is good for testing and it's free. So easily I copy and paste the commands and wait to install the SQL set. Here we should choose edition of SQL Server, and as I said, it's better to choose developer mode. That is number 2. And here you should set a password for SQL Server, that the password should be complex. And repeat the password. SQL Server has been installed successfully, and as you can see, the service of it is active and running. So let's go to next step. After installing the SQL Server, we need to install command line for that, because we want to work with that. So easily we can copy and paste the command. Here just accept the license terms. And again, some services need to be restarted, and we can do it later. Okay. So next step is publish website files for Linux. So we have to navigate to website file directory and use this command to publish files for Linux. My files are here. And open a command prompt and paste that command. Okay. So published file will be saved in this path. Actually, bin release .NET 8 or other version you selected, Linux, and publish it. So if your files are here, you should navigate to bin release your .NET version, that mine is .NET 8, Linux, and publish folder. So you need to transfer these files only to your server. Before transfer the files to the server, you have to create a SSL certificate, or you can buy a SSL certificate. But in this video, because this is an example, I'm using self-signed certificates. Let's restart these services. To generate a SSL certificate, we need to enter some details and a password for a private key. Here I leave the details blank, but you can enter your details for your SSL certificate. But here it's important to enter your domain name or server's IP address. Here we should enter the password that we choose for a private key. And again. And here we can set a password for SSL export. Now we have a SSL certificate. You have to know we need SSL certificate only if our application is working on HTTPS protocol. I wanted to show you all the processes you need to deploy a .NET application on a Linux. So if you're gonna run your application on HTTP port that is not secure, you don't need to generate SSL certificate. So let's go to the next step. So next step is configuring the connection string and HTTP requests in appsetting.json file based on your server details. So on this example, because I'm using .NET as a default web server on Linux, we have to set up HTTP and HTTPS requests on appsetting.json. The default path for certificate is at the root directory. You can use this path for SSL certificate and write your password that you define on certificate generation. And here you can set up your connection string that on this example, our server is localhost and my database name is deploy on Linux DB. And you can set your username and your password of SQL Server. The default user ID of SQL Server is SA, so you can use SA and your passport as a user ID and passport in connection receipt. All we need is to copy and paste this codes in appsetting.json file. But at the first, let me open a notepad and replace username and passwords. Now it's ready to place it in the appsetting.json file. Remember, you should replace it in appsetting.json file in a published file. Now everything is ready to transfer the files to the server. I use a VNCP app to transfer the files to the server, but you can use Windows Terminal or other apps to transfer the files. Easily navigate to the published file here, and in the server, you can create a folder. Exactly like Apache server. And transfer the files to it. Next step is upload and attach the database to the SQL server. First, copy database file to the server. Here is my database file. Actually, backup file. And after that, we can connect to the SQL server using this command. Remember to replace your password that you set up for SQL Server in installation and configuration. Now we are connected to the SQL Server, and we can use commands to import a backup file in SQL Server. You can use codes to restore the database in new server, and don't forget to change the path of the uploaded file, because in this example I am using this path for a backup file. So you have to change it if you upload it in another path. And also don't forget to change the database name in everywhere you can see that. Okay, let's restore the database. It seems I made a mistake when I was creating the folders in the server, so let's fix it. Yeah, the www folder should be in var, not necessary, but I wanted to be like a Apache web server path. So let's do it again. As you see, the restore database was successfully. You can verify the restoration. The next and final step is to create a service for our application and start it. First, let's create a service. You can set a description for your service and change your application name here if you need. Actually, you need, because your application name is different from mine. And the working directory is here. Okay, all done. Just start and enable the service. Remember, here you can mention your service name that you set it up in the service file here. And we can check the service. Our service is active and running. Now we can easily open our website or application using the IP of the server or domain. So let's do it. It's because our SSL certificate is a self-signed certificate. As you see, our application is working great, and this data are from our database. Also, you can check your database using Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Just open it and connect to your server using your server IP and SA username and your password that you defined in SQL Server in installation. Here you can see the database, the product table. You can see your data, and let's add something else. Let's check it. It's working great. So using these steps, we easily deployed a .NET app on a Linux server. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any question, feel free to ask me. And also you can find the documentation file in my GitHub that I shared in the description.